that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh, man. Angel Reese fans are going to be pissed.
Angel Reese is making headlines again, but not the kind that make brands open their wallets. No, instead of champagne toasts and billboards, sponsors are starting to quietly step back. Her signature Reebok shoe is supposed to drop in 2026, but whispers are already floating around. Is the deal in trouble? Is Reebok rethinking everything? And here's the thing, I thought Angel Reese was supposed to be the big draw. I thought she was box office. Her friends in the mainstream media told us she was a huge star.
I thought Angel Reese was a big deal. I thought she was a box office draw. According to her pretend friends in the mainstream media, Angel Reese is a huge star.
But lately, the headlines haven't been about dominance, they've been about layups. Not the spectacular kind, the embarrassing kind. In one game, she turned a simple putback into a blooper reel. Not once, not twice, multiple times in the same sequence. Commentators tried to dress it up with polite analysis, but you could hear it. That little laugh they couldn't quite swallow back. They realized they were live, quickly changed tone, but the clips had already gone viral. For all
Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. She used Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok, she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
the wrong reasons. Her shooting percentage this season? 44.4%. Sounds fine on paper, until you realize most of her shots are under the basket. For context, most pros hit layups 70-80% of the time. Angel has somehow turned the easiest shot in basketball into a coin flip. Analysts have even started calling it the Angel Reese effect, where simple shots become impossible. And
we have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it, blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious.
And then there's the marketing play. Angel had this whole plan. Her Reebok shoe would be unveiled at the All-Star game. The perfect backdrop, Indianapolis, packed house. Caitlin Clark, the co-captain, would be there, drawing millions of eyes. Angel would step into that spotlight, finally proving she could match, or even outshine, the Caitlin Clark effect.
I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking about.
But then, the basketball gods got involved. July 15th, days before the All-Star game, Clark goes down with a groin injury. Suddenly, no three-point contest, no main event appearance. The one person Angel needed on that stage for her big moment, gone. Without Clark, the All-Star game lost its magic, and Angel's perfectly crafted plan collapsed in real time. The crowd, smaller, the viewership, way down. Her shoe debut, which was supposed to be a power move, landed with the force of a paper airplane.
Sponsors assured him Clark, coming to his organization, would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye.
Shaq and Allen Iverson still did their best to hype her. Angel still tried to claim Indiana as her territory, but it was hard to ignore reality. More fans were wearing Clark merch than hers. She had maybe a dozen diehards in the stands. She's never even won a game in Indiana, and yet she was talking about taking over. The irony? Angel has built so much of her profile by attaching herself to Caitlin Clark. And now, when it really mattered, she needed Clark more than ever, but Clark wasn't there. And Angel was left holding a shoe that nobody was looking at.
Shaq and Allen Iverson are going to go and do what they can to promote their player. Do what they can to promote their player. Like, even still here, like you had the Angel Reese saying that she was, taking over Indiana, and there's about 15 fans there. And more than wearing Caitlin Clark merch than her merch. She pulls up with about 15 fans, and I'm like, take over, Angel, take over. This is her city now. And I'm like, and she's never won a game in Indiana.
But the bad luck wasn't done yet. Angel's own body joined the conspiracy. A back injury sidelined her for multiple games, 4 of the last 5 to be exact. Her Chicago Sky? They're sitting at a brutal 8-21 record, riding an 8-game losing streak that perfectly overlapped with her absence. For Reebok, this is a nightmare. They made Angel their marquee signing, the face of their basketball comeback, a whole Reebok by Angel line, a signature shoe. They bet big, but personality and style can't mask missed layups on national TV. The Diamond Dust colorway was supposed to represent grit and glamour. Now it represents miscalculation and bad timing. Industry insiders are wondering if Reebok's having second thoughts. Because here's the truth, while Angel's been missing bunnies and watching her team collapse, Caitlin Clark has been breaking records and pulling in historic viewership numbers for women's basketball. Angel's brand strategy has always been about personality, the next big star vibe, the one fans couldn't stop watching. But in sports, personality without production is just noise, and noise doesn't sell shoes. The timing couldn't have been worse. The WNBA is growing like never before. Eyes are on the league. Momentum is real. And Angel, she's on the bench, street clothes, watching her team lose and her relevance slip. The All-Star game was supposed to be her proof. Instead, it's now a cautionary tale. She blamed Clark's injury for ruining everything, as if the basketball gods had it out for her personally. But here's what that really reveals. Angel knew deep down she needed Clark's presence to make her moment work. Reebok has to be asking themselves the hard questions now. How do you market a player whose biggest highlight is missing? How do you build a campaign around a team that can't win? The signature shoe game is built on aspiration. Fans buy because they want to play like their heroes. But what happens when your hero is more famous for lowlights than highlights? She's starting to move like a baby giraffe learning to walk. Awkward, unsteady, and painfully unsure of each step. And as much as people might laugh at the clips, the bigger problem here isn't just about Angel Reese. Women's basketball is finally having its moment. Stereotypes that have shadowed the sport for decades are cracking. Arenas are filling. Viewership is climbing. New fans, many watching for the first time, are seeing a different side of the game. The skill, the speed, the rivalries, it's all coming together in a way that feels historic. But here's the danger. When one of the league's most heavily marketed stars struggles this openly, it gives critics ammunition. It risks breathing life back into the old, tired narratives the sport has worked so hard to bury, and that's where Reebok's dilemma comes in. Their path forward isn't clear. Do they stay committed, hoping Angel can rise from this slump, rewrite her story, and make their gamble pay off? Or do they start putting quiet distance between themselves and the Angel Reese brand before it becomes more liability than asset? That 2026 shoe launch isn't just another drop on a calendar anymore, it's a make-or-break moment. A referendum, not just on the sneaker, but on Angel herself. Can she sharpen her game, silence the noise, and justify the hype? Or will it become a case study in what happens when marketing runs miles ahead of performance? Because here's the truth. Angel already had everything she said she wanted. A big money endorsement, her own signature line, a national spotlight. All the pieces were there, but the one factor she couldn't control was Caitlin Clark and her presence. And when Clark disappeared from that all-star stage, so did Angel's shot at owning the moment. That's the difference between being a rival and being a star. Real stars don't need someone else to shine next to them to be relevant. They don't depend on who's across the court to draw the crowd. They create their own gravity. They make every stage their stage, no matter who's watching or who's missing. Until Angel figures that out, her story won't be about grit, glamour, or the Diamond Dust colorway. It'll be about a string of missed chances and a signature shoe that arrived to the sound of silence.